Okay, so today I'm working on my '03 Yamaha Zuma 50cc. I'm having some carburetor issues. Gonna take it apart. Basically what's happening is when I give it full throttle, it just wants to bog down and then it catches. So I don't know if a simple jet is clogged or it's gonna need a complete rebuild. But there's not much to them. Very simple two-cycle scooter. So I'll get to it and now we'll document the whole process of taking off the carburetor, and hopefully it's just dirty inside, get it cleaned out and get it all put back together. To get the carburetor off, it was a 10mm wrench. It's some kind of clamp that just clamps the flange on the carburetor onto a rubber fitting, but it was a 10mm wrench that I used to loosen that up. Now what I have to do is get all the lines off, fuel line, throttle, and a couple other components off the carburetor so I can pull it off. So have the carburetor out here. Only thing I have left is take off these lines here, throttle. I'm almost certain it's carburetor issues because how hard everything was to get off, and I had to use PB blasters on those screws. I don't think this carburetor's ever been off since 2003. I don't think anybody's ever went through it. So I'm letting it sit there for a few minutes with some PB blaster. I'm going to take off the two screws right here so I can loosen this up. And once I have that, I'm going to take it all apart. Take it all apart, see what's going on in there. More than likely it's going to need a carburetor rebuild kit. And that should be it. And I'll continue the video as soon as I get those loosened up and I get it on the workbench. Alright, so here's the carburetor. I have it, see if I can zoom in. There it is. It's very dirty, as you can see. Nasty. Gunk everywhere. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to degrease the whole carburetor, and I will start disassembling it and see what's going on inside. There it is. Nasty, nasty, nasty stuff. And also this degreaser that I'm using, I mean, I used a lot of degreasers from, I don't know, that purple bottle, I mean the spray on. And I mean, I never found one that's very good at what it says it's supposed to do. Then I came across this stuff here at Sam's Club. Now, I'm not getting paid for this plug, but I mean, if you want some real nasty shit, I mean, straight up, probably eat your skin off if you leave your hand in there long enough. I mean, it's at Sam's Club. It's a gallon, and it runs about 6 and change, and I think you're supposed to dilute it, but hell, I just use it straight on, and it's nasty shit. I mean, straight up, it'll peel anything off. I mean, this is the best stuff I've found. And you get a whole gallon of it. If you want to dilute it, let me see. Oh yeah, you're supposed to dilute it here, but just, I use a little bit. I use just a tiny bit, maybe about 6 ounces of it, and I use a little brush, and it just takes everything off. I mean, you could see already how good it cleaned the carburetor, and only been doing it for a couple minutes. Good stuff. So here's roughly about 10 minutes in the degreaser, just going it over with a paintbrush. As you can see, it works awesome. The degreaser looks brand new almost. Alright, gonna start digging into it and see what we can find, what's going on in there and why it just doesn't want to run properly. Well, the bowl appears to be fairly clean. I mean, there's a few spots, a few little spots that can use some attention. Alright, now I'm going to take the jets out. So I blew everything out and I'm going to start reassembling the carburetor. I'm going to start with the jets. I hate this part, trying to get the needle and the float together. There we go. Alright, so I'm just getting the screw on that goes to the float. That's working. I always add either a little grease or a little oil. This gasket looks a little wore out. It should be replaced. But everything else looks good. I'm not just gonna replace the gasket. I will rebuild the whole carburetor down the road, but I always like to put a little grease on there to kind of rejuvenate the seal, as you could say, you know, because it looks a little dried out. I don't recommend doing this. I recommend rebuilding the carburetor, but like I said, all the other components look good except this one seal here. I didn't have any gas leaking out of the fuel bowl or anything, but just adding a little grease on there is going to give it a little better seal to sit in there. So basically that's it. It's all cleaned up, put back together. I went through the whole carburetor. Like I said, I didn't see anything out of place except the seal for the fuel bowl. But I'm not getting no leaks, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I'll rebuild it, you know, a month or two down the road. But basically I'm gonna throw it back on the scooter and see what it does. Hopefully, by me blowing out the jets, because there was a little dirt in there, hopefully it runs good. I'll post an updated video to let you know how it went. Thanks for watching.